a report this week about a new opera company in Gauteng that is trying to get younger people to listen to more music like this. That's a performance of Aida. It's performed by Stéfan Louw. He's a member of the Big Wig Opera, and he's on the line now from Bloemfontein. Stefan, good afternoon to you. When I listen to that, and I'm wearing jeans now, I've got to tell you, I feel a little underdressed.
Good afternoon. No, you don't have to. That's the whole point. That's sort of a misconception people had, I think, about opera, and it all started a few decades ago, where it sort of became an elitist thing to do, and that's what we're trying to break. But interestingly enough, when opera was written, it wasn't elitist. I mean, you had all levels of society attending these operas, and you had your standing spots and your seats, and then of course the boxes for the rich and powerful. But everybody was in that audience, and that's something we want to change.
Opera, it is about clothing, though. I mean, aren't there some people, or maybe a large group of people, who like to make an occasion of it? Even if it's a relatively cheap price, you go out for an evening and you dress up special because you feel special when you go to opera, because opera, as I understand it at least, is supposed to make you feel special.
It does. You're quite right. But that doesn't stop you from wearing your designer jeans or your designer T-shirt or your flashy new shoes. That doesn't stop you at all. It's just sort of a stigma that's stuck to it for some reason that we're trying to break and build audiences. It's a long, hard road in trying to change that thing, and it starts with youth. We have to get youthful audience in there to make it vibrant, to make it new, and yes, making an outing. That's the whole point. But you don't go clubbing in your pajamas. Unless it's a pajama party, of course. But but you don't do that. You put on your nice designer jeans and your T-shirt, and you go out clubbing. And that's the same thing we want to try.
One of the things that certainly happen in society is that more and more art forms to succeed have to become more easily accessible. So they have to be able to be consumed in a shorter form. They have to be able to be understood very quickly. And most opera, I mean, when I think of opera, I immediately think of Italian, maybe a little bit of German. I think Wagner did opera. I hope he did. So that must also be difficult. You've got to try and make something appealing, but it's in a language that is alien to 99% of South Africans.
Absolutely. The unfortunate thing is, when these composers composed or wrote these operas, the language helps with the kind of singing that you do and the rhythms, and the language vowels fits in what happens musically. So it's difficult to translate it and sing it in a different language. However, what we're doing is we have a narrator, somebody that tells the story, and which is work brilliant, because then you have the people looking at the scene and then they realize, but I understand what they're doing because I know the story was just being told a little bit beforehand.
Stéfan Louw, thank you very much indeed. We'll have to leave it there, I'm afraid.